June 1944, a British commando wades through chest-deep water toward a French beach during a pre-dawn raid on German coastal defenses. His Lee-Enfield rifle is submerged completely for approximately 90 seconds. When he emerges onto the sand and attempts to fire, the weapon functions normally. The barrel, which would typically retain water and risk catastrophic pressure buildup and rupture on firing, is clear. Before entering the water, the commando stretched a standard-issue prophylactic device over the muzzle, securing it with a rubber band. The condom sealed the barrel against water intrusion, while its thin latex construction allowed it to be blown clear by propellant gases when fired, adding no measurable resistance to bullet exit. The device costs nothing beyond existing medical stores, required no special training, and solved a problem that had plagued amphibious operations since military forces first attempted to maintain firearm functionality during water crossings. This improvised use of medical supplies for weapons maintenance was not officially sanctioned, not mentioned in training manuals, and not recorded in after-action reports. Yet, it spread throughout British Commando and Special Forces units through informal knowledge transfer and became standard practice for any operation involving water immersion. British Commando forces in 1942 and 1943 faced a weapon reliability problem. That was environmental and operational. Amphibious raids, river crossings, and operations in coastal swamps required soldiers to submerge weapons in saltwater or freshwater. The Lee-Enfield rifle, while robust, was not designed for submersion. Water entering the barrel created multiple problems. Liquid incompressibility meant a water-filled barrel fired normally could rupture or bulge, destroying the weapon and potentially injuring the operator. Even small amounts of water increased chamber pressure unpredictably, affecting accuracy and reliability. Saltwater caused immediate corrosion of barrel steel. Existing solutions were inadequate. Cosmoline-based coatings prevented long-term storage corrosion, but did not seal against water intrusion during active use. Barrel plugs existed, but had to be removed before firing, requiring time and dexterity under combat conditions. What commandos needed was a seal that protected during submersion, required no removal before firing, added no weight or bulk, and used materials already available in military logistics. The improvised solution emerged from field experimentation rather than formal development. Commandos observed that standard military-issue condoms were waterproof, elastic, and thin enough to be blown apart by muzzle blast without affecting the bullet trajectory. The first documented use occurred during training for Operation Chariot, the Saint Nazaire raid, in March 1942, though the individuals who developed the technique remain unidentified. Commandos preparing for the raid tested various waterproofing methods. Condoms stretched over muzzles, secured with rubber bands, proved more effective than waxed cloth, petroleum jelly seals, or tape. The technique was refined and observed to cause no measurable accuracy loss and no pressure problems when fired with the condom in place. The condom's material properties made it ideally suited for this role. Standard military-issue condoms were approximately 0.07 millimeters thick, strong enough to maintain a seal under several meters of depth, but weak enough to rupture instantly under the roughly 3,800 atmospheres of chamber pressure generated when firing standard .303 British ammunition. Elasticity allowed the condom to stretch over the Lee-Enfield's muzzle, approximately 7.9 millimeters in diameter, and remain secure. The latex was chemically stable and did not react with cosmoline, gun oil, or propellant residue. Most importantly, the devices were already present in standard medical supplies, requiring no special procurement. Each soldier could carry several, weighing virtually nothing, allowing resealing after each water crossing if required. Application required approximately 15 seconds. The soldier removed a condom from its foil package, stretched it over the muzzle, ensuring full-bore coverage, and secured it with a rubber band about 2 centimeters behind the muzzle. The rolled edge provided retention, and the rubber band added security against displacement during movement. The seal was effective to depths exceeding 3 meters and submersion durations of several minutes. When fired, the bullet and propellant gases ruptured the condom, which fragmented and blew clear of the muzzle without affecting stability. Shredded latex sometimes remained but did not impair function. Soldiers carried several condoms as the device was single-use and had to be replaced after firing. Operational deployment occurred throughout commando operations from 1942 onward, though documentation is sparse because the practice existed outside doctrine. It was used during the Dieppe raid in August 1942, during the Sicily landings in July 1943, and extensively in Burma, where monsoon conditions made water exposure constant. No systematic data exists, but the absence of barrel ruptures or water-related malfunctions suggests the technique was reliable. A secondary application emerged using condoms as decoy devices. Inflated with breath and tied off, they created lightweight head-shaped decoys placed in vegetation or terrain. A single soldier could deploy several, creating the illusion of multiple personnel. At night or in low visibility, German forces fired at decoys, wasting ammunition and revealing positions. This method appeared in after-action reports from Norway and coastal France, where small teams used decoys to draw fire. Comparison with other forces shows the technique spread widely. American forces adopted it after observing British practices. U.S. Rangers and Marine Raiders used condoms during Pacific operations. Soviet forces crossing rivers used similar methods. German forces appear not to have adopted it systematically, though captured documents mention British SEALs. Its spread indicates a genuine tactical need was being met. The practice was never formally documented. Training manuals omitted it. The omission likely reflected institutional reluctance to endorse improvised uses of medical supplies. Knowledge passed orally from veteran to recruit through demonstration. This pattern was common for effective field expedients that worked but existed outside formal channels. Post-war development of purpose-designed muzzle covers occurred in the 1950s and 1960s. Modern covers use the same principle: thin, disposable membranes engineered specifically for weapons. Their existence acknowledges that the improvised solution worked. The principle established in World War II became the basis for modern equipment specifications. The British commando, who emerged from French coastal waters in June 1944, was one of thousands who used this technique. His rifle fired normally because a medical device designed to prevent disease had been repurposed to prevent water intrusion. The practice spread informally, proved more effective than official solutions, and was never acknowledged. The condoms that kept rifles firing during amphibious assaults never appeared in equipment lists, never received credit, because military institutions rarely document innovations that originate outside formal processes, even when they work.